So we had seen yesterday close packed structures. So just we will conclude it and then we'll start the new topic. Closed packed structures. Okay. So close packed structures in one dimension when it was there, that time coordination number. So it is coordination number we are writing actually, coordination number. Okay, one dimension close packing was there, so the coordination number was 2. When two dimensional close packing was there, that time in two dimension close packing, two type of close packing were there. The square close packing one was, and one was hexagonal closed packing. So it was having coordination number 2, this was having coordination number 6. Close packed structures. In 3D again we have 3 types. In 3-dimensional, square closed packing, that time the coordination number was 6. In 3-dimension when the close packing was SCP, hexagonal close packed structure, or CCP or FCP, cubic close packed structure or face center packed structure, both of them had coordination number 12 and 12. So these were the packings which we had seen. Now the last which I said, in 3-dimension, if BCC type of body centered cubic packing is there, then in that case the coordination number is 8. But we had not studied its close packed structure, so directly you should remember its coordination number is 8. Okay, so this is about the summary of close packed structures, that how coordination number is there for each one of that. Now we start the next topic today, that is packing efficiency. Now we had seen basic 3 type of unit cells. One is the simple cubic unit cell, second one is body centered, and third one is face centered. So we will see that the packing of which type of unit cell is more efficient. Packing means what? The percentage of vacant or the empty space we have to find in that. Okay, or in other words we can say that how much space is occupied, so the remaining space is the vacant space. Okay, so packing efficiency. Now packing efficiency, one by one we will study. First we are doing packing efficiency for face centered cubic structure. Okay, now when we have to find packing efficiency, the first thing every time we will do, we'll make a unit cell. Okay, when unit cell we are making, then in this unit cell, because it is face centered cubic structure, so we will have particles in this unit cell on the corners as well as on each face also. Okay, so we will make the particle only on one face because we will use only one side, not all. One thing, let me do, little change is needed so that you understand it better. All the particles are of same size, only I have made enlarge this one because we are going to focus on this. Now this is one of the face, so there will be one particle in the middle of this face. Okay, so one particle on this corner, one on this corner, one in the middle of this face, and all the faces, but we will study from one corner itself. Okay, now let me join this diagonally. Now if I have to find packing efficiency, then the formula which actually I have to use is volume occupied by these spheres, whatever volume these spheres are, particles are occupying. How many particles? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and we know that each one of it is contributing only 1/8. That means in all these 8 are contributing only 1, and particles present on each face. So particles total are present on each face are 6, and contribution is made by only 3. So volume occupied by these spheres divided by the volume of cube into 100, that will give the packing efficiency. Okay, because whatever volume these spheres are occupying and whatever is the total volume of cube, that will give how efficient is the packing, and the remaining part is actually the vacant space. Okay, so now for this packing efficiency, volume occupied by these spheres. Now we just now said that the contribution, we know that in face center cubic structure, what is there? 4 particles are present, 1 plus 3, 1 from the corners and 3 from the faces. I hope now this is clear that why we have written 4 particles. So volume occupied by these 4 particles which are present on corner and on the faces will be 4 into 4 by 3 pi r cube, because 4 by 3 pi r cube is the volume of sphere. Okay, divided by the volume of cube. If this is a cube with side A, then its volume is A cube multiplied by 100. This will be the formula which we are going to use to find out the packing efficiency. Now what is there in this formula? One of the variable is R and one of the variable here is A. Means these things we have to see. So now when these values, one is R and one is A, we will convert this A in terms of R. That is why the whole derivation which we are going to do is required. Otherwise there is no need. Okay. So this A will be converted in terms of radius R, and then we will put it in the formula and calculate the packing efficiency for this type of structure. Okay. Now what we have to do to find out this is A, this is A, this is A, and this is A, because these are the sides of cube. Okay, let me write it here. A, B, C, D, E, F, G and H. Just I have given the numbers to the points. Now what we have to do? We have to see triangle. Any triangle, either we see this triangle or we can see this triangle. So let us see this triangle. In triangle ABD. Okay. By Pythagoras theorem, what will be happening? Hypotenuse square is equal to the square of base and perpendicular. Okay, so this is actually diagonal, so this will be hypotenuse. Let us give as B, because this is A. So it will be B square will be equal to A square plus A square. So this B square will be equal to 2A square, and B is equal to under root 2A. Clear? B, we have found that it is equal to under root 2A by Pythagoras theorem. Now also one more thing we can write, that this B is actually equal to 4R. Why I have written B equal to 4R? Because see, From here to here is the radius of this sphere. Half of the diameter is radius. In this diagonal which we are using, we have this radius means the total diameter of this sphere is included. That means it is 2r, and again the third sphere is having this part, that is only r. So r plus r plus r plus r, that is total b is equal to 4r. So b is equal to under root 2a by Pythagoras theorem, and b is equal to 4r directly from this. So 4r is equal to under root 2a, and we want the value of a in terms of r. So we will write a is equal to 4r upon under root 2, which can also be written as under root 2 will cancel this, so it will become 2 under root 2r. Okay. So a according to this is equal to 2 under root 2r. Now sometimes in some questions it is asked that what will be the radius of a sphere in a face-centered cubic structure. So that also you can find. In this derivation we will not need r, but if you are asked in other question value of r, that also you can give using this relationship. Right now we are needing a is equal to 2 under root 2r. Now our work is done. We have just to put the value here. Okay, so in the formula that will be equal to 4 into 4 by 3. This is visible. Pi r cube upon a cube means 2 under root 2 r cube. Okay. Now let me write here. So that will be 16 pi r cube. Okay, and that will be equal to 16 okay. So we have not to completely solve it. We have just taken the cube of this, and then we have just multiplied. This value comes to 676 because it is multiplied by 100 also. Packing efficiency, this value comes on calculation to 76%. So packing efficiency in a hexagonal closed pack structure is 76%. That means the remaining 24% is covered by voids. Empty space is 24% and occupied space is 76% in case of hexagonal closed pack structures. Now we will write it aside and just compare our just a minute. It is 74 or 76? 74% will come. 74%, not 76%. Okay. Now in the second case you will see. Again we have to use the same formula. Now packing efficiency second in body centered cube. Okay. First packing came 74%. Okay, now in body centered cubic structure, what is packing efficiency? This we have to calculate. Again we'll make a cube. Okay, now these are the particles which will be present on the corners. Now along with this, one particle we require in the center of it. Okay, so one big particle actually we have to make. One particle in the center of the cube. Now let us just join it. This is A, this is A in a triangle. Something is missing. Wait a minute. Let me draw it again. One triangle we require side, okay, and taking into consideration this is A, B, C. Like this. What we have to do? This is A. What we have done in the base, this is the base, one diagonal we have drawn, A, this is A, this is A, this is A. Okay, because it is body centered, so one particle is present in the center of the body. Then what we want to calculate is, again the formula will be packing efficiency is equal to volume occupied by spheres divided by the volume of cube multiplied by 100. Now volume occupied by these spheres is 2 into 4 by 3 pi r cube. This time it will be 2 into 4 by 3 pi because it is body centered. So contribution is 1 particle from the center and 1 by 8 particle of total 8. So it will be 1 plus 1 equal to 2. This we have already discussed. Okay. So that is why 2 into 4 by 3 pi r cube divided by a cube multiplied by 100 to get the packing efficiency. Now this again, this a cube we want in terms of r. Okay. So for that again we have to do the same process which we have done for face centered. Now we want to know the value of this triangle. For this triangle, suppose if these are A, let us consider this as B and let us consider this as C. So we want two B and C values. A is known to us, this is side A. So first we will calculate B and then we will come to C. Okay. So let us start with this triangle ABC. Triangle ABC. What is there? This is hypotenuse, so B square is equal to A square plus A square. B square is equal to A square plus A square. B is equal to root 2A, just the same way as we have done for the previous. So B came under root 2A. Now again we will use Pythagoras theorem in this triangle. This is ABC, let it be D. In triangle PDC, in this triangle. Okay. Now this is hypotenuse, so it will be C square is equal to B square plus A square. Okay. Then this C square, B square just now we have calculated, B is under root 2A, so it will be equal to under root 2A square plus A square, that will be equal to 3A square. Okay. C square and C will be equal to under root 3A. So we obtained the value of this C. C is equal to root 3A. So one equation is C is under root 3A. Second equation is this C, actually this C is also equal to 4R. See, this is 1R, this is 2R and this is again 1R. So C is also equal to 4R. Don't be confused by the lines, okay, because actually lines we have drawn, the lines are not there, these are compact, close to each other. That is why I was wishing to make a big circle, but it's okay. Okay, so you understand that this sphere just touching the boundary of this and then this. So C is 4r. So 4r is equal to root 3a from these two equations. And what we want is the value of a. So it will be equal to 4 under root 3 r is equal to a. Or from this equation you can also get the value of r as under root 3 upon 4 a. If they ask you the radius of a sphere in case of body center cube. Okay. So now we have obtained a. Only thing left is we have to put the value of a cube in the formula. Here in this formula we will put 4 under root 3 a whole cube. Again you need not to solve it. No, something 4r. 4r under root 3 a. Now by solving, the packing efficiency for this comes 68%. So for face centered cubic it was 74%, for body centered it is 68%. Okay, so that means face centered cubic structure is more efficiently packed as compared to body centered. Now last is left, that is simple cubic without having any particle on the face or on the center. Derivations as such are not asked, these. Okay, but in between from this, formulas for radius, formula for finding out the value of a are asked. That is why we have to do. Okay, so packing efficiency, that packing efficiency. Now for primitive unit cell, okay, or simple cubic unit cell, simply where particles are only present on the corners and not anywhere else. Okay, so one particle here, one particle here, one particle on each point we have to make. Now again formula will be there, that is packing efficiency is equal to volume of spheres upon a cube, that is volume of cube. Now volume of spheres in primitive unit cell, the number of particle present is only 1 because 1/8 on each corner will make only 1. So volume of one sphere will be 4/3 pi r cube. Only thing we want is conversion of this a cube in terms of r. Now in this case we need not to do any derivation. Okay, simply because any diagonal if we make this, then once again let me make so that it is clear to you. Now this is a, this is a. Okay, if two particles are present, one on this corner, one on this corner, so you can say that actually a is equal to 2r, or one particle here, one particle here. You can see that this whole a, this a is having half radius of the half diameter of this and half of this, that is 2r. A is equal to 2r simply. So we can put here in packing efficiency 4/3 pi r cube, and in place of a cube we will write 2r whole cube. Okay, so in this case primitive unit cell, derivation not required simply because there is no particle in between. So a is equal to 2r we have directly written. Okay, क्या चीज?
into 100.
हाँ, into 100. Okay, into 100, that will give the packing efficiency of this to 52.4%. Okay, So now we have for all three. For hexagonal close packing, we have 74% packing efficiency. For BCC, we have 56%. Sorry, 68%. And for primitive unit cell, or we have 52.4%, or you can say simple cubic structure, these three. So seeing the data for all three, we can conclude that the most efficient type of packing is this, and primitive unit cell is the most, you can say, wastage of more space is there in case of primitive unit cell because of large number of voids present in it. Okay, so this is all about your packing efficiency. Now so in case of packing efficiency, I just told you that only thing important is the formulas which we have obtained for radius, for and for A, and also the direct values of packing efficiency, that how efficient that packing is and value for it. Now apart from this, there is one important formula in this chapter which is used. Two type of questions are there in this chapter. One we will discuss after this, and the second type is based on this formula, calculation involving unit cell dimension. Okay, so this calculation is done using one formula which is derived from the dimensions of unit cell itself. How it is derived? If in a unit cell we talk, then volume, because unit cell is a cube in cubic structure which we are commonly studying, so the volume of cubic structure is A cube. Okay, calculation involving unit cell dimension, we are going to the formula to find density. That is why we are talking about volume and mass of unit cell. Mass of unit cell will be equal to Z into M, where Z is number of particles in unit cell and M is mass of one particle. Okay, now this mass of one particle can be calculated from M upon Na. What is this? M is the molar mass or atomic mass if atoms are the constituents, molar mass, and this is Avogadro number, because the mass which is written is actually the mass of 1 mole of the substance. So for one atom, mass of one particle we want, we have to do molar mass divided by Na. Okay, now that means if mass of unit cell I can write as Z into, in place of M I will write capital M upon Na. This is mass of unit cell. Clear? Now density of unit cell will be equals to mass per unit volume. Mass of unit cell is Z into capital M upon Na, and volume we have already written AQ. So a very important formula, D is equal to Z into capital M. You should know what are these things. M is the molar mass, Z is the number of particles, Na Avogadro number, and A cube is the side of the cube. This will give the value of density. Not only density, if any of these things is unknown, it can be calculated. Suppose density is given and any other thing you have to find. So this is an important formula. Generally questions are asked based on this formula. So we will do questions on this also tomorrow maybe or afterwards. Now today the questions which I wanted to discuss, 1, 2 I will discuss. Okay. After this only one important point, that is the defects in the crystals. That is important point. We will tomorrow that topic we will do. Before that, some questions on the presence of voids, which are also important type of question we have to discuss. So that let us take those. Yesterday I had told you that if the number of particles in a crystal are n, then the number of tetrahedral voids are double of it, and octahedral voids are also n. So keeping in view that only, there are some question types which are always asked. A question is, a compound is formed by two elements, X and Y. For example, NaCl. So it is made up of two components, X and Y. Atoms of the element Y make CCP, means the whole cubic close packed structure, atoms of Y. All the atoms of Y are occupying the sides of the unit cell or the crystal lattice, means Y is having the particle number n, because we had said that if the number of particles are n, then voids are 2n, tetrahedral, and octahedral. So they are saying atoms of element Y as anion make CCP. Whatever particle is making the whole structure, that value we will write as n. And those of element X occupy all octahedral voids. Okay, and the second element X is present on all octahedral voids. That means how many particles of X are there? N. Because as many particles are present in the main crystal lattice, that many are the octahedral voids, and because X are present on octahedral voids, that means the number of particles of X are also n. So what is the formula of compound? So the formula of compound is XY. This is simple to do. Okay. Now instead of this, the question if had been like this, that the particles of Y occupy the CCP and the particles of X are present on all tetrahedral voids, then instead of n I would have written here 2n. Okay. That means the formula of the compound had been what? X is to Y is equal to 2n is to n. That means X and Y are in the ratio 2 is to 1. So the formula had been X to Y1, or don't write 1. This has been the question if instead of octahedral here it had been tetrahedral. Okay. Now one more question. Atoms of element B form HCP lattice. There are two elements in the crystal, A and B. Atoms of B form SCP. Atoms of B are forming SCP. That means the number of those are n. Then the elements those of element A occupy 2/3 of the tetrahedral voids. The particles of A occupy 2/3 of tetrahedral voids. Tetrahedral voids, how many will be tetrahedral voids in this crystal? If particles are n, tetrahedral voids will be 2n. And out of those tetrahedral voids, 2/3 are only occupied by the particles of A. Okay. So that means A is actually equal to 4/3n. Now write the formula of the compound. So formula of the compound will be A is to B is equal to 4/3n is to n. That is equal to 4 is to 3. So the formula of the compound is A4B3. Okay. So this type of questions are very common from this chapter. This as well as the second formula I had told you.